We're going to discuss the measures of central tendency. So measures of central tendency, let's define what it is. A measure of central tendency is a single value. It is a single value that attempts to describe a set of data by identifying a central position within that set of data. A single value that attempts to describe a set of data by identifying the central position within that set of data. So let's look at the introduction. We get to know these measures of central tendency. There are three measures of central tendency, three main measures of central tendency. One of them is mode. You're having mode. We have median, and finally we have our mean. So there are other measures of central tendency, but the main measures of central tendency are mode, median, and mean. So let's look at the definitions. So we have the definition of median. A median is that value of the data which provides, which divides the group into two parts. One of the parts comprising all the values greater than median, and the other comprising the values that are less than median. So it is in between the values that are greater than the median and the others that are less than the median. So let's see mode. Mode is that value which occurs most frequently in a distribution. It occurs many times in a distribution. Then we have mean. The arithmetic mean, or simply we call it mean, of a sample is the sum of the sample values divided by the number of items in the sample. You sum all the values in a distribution or in a sample, then you divide by the number of those items. Now let's check on the merits and the demerits of these measures of central tendency. Let's start with median. Okay, the merits of median. We have the first one is simple measure of central tendency. It is a simple measure of central tendency. Then we have not affected by extreme values, not affected by extreme values. Yes. Then we are having provide a certain specific value in the series. They have to give a specific value in the series. Then real value that may exist in the series. They are real values. It must be a real value in that series. Then can be estimated graphically. You can plot a graph and estimate the median. So let's check at the demerits. What are the demerits? What are the disadvantages? They may lack representative character in widely dispersed series. Then approximate value when located between two middle values. You approximate. When you never give a specific value, you approximate. Lack algebraic treatment. Then does not give the sum total of series values. Those are the demerits or the disadvantages of median. Okay, next let's check at the merits of mode. What are the advantages of mode? Mode, we said these are the numbers that appears most frequency. So one is that they are simple. It is a simple and popular measure. It's a simple and popular measure. Then less affected by marginal values, then can be located graphically. You can draw up or can plot a graph and locate the mode. Then best representative value based on the highest frequency. Based on the highest frequency. Let's check now on the demerits of mode. So what are the disadvantages of mode? Uncertain and vague. It is an uncertain and vague measure. Not capable of algebraic treatment. Difficulty to identify with identical frequencies. When there are when there are more than one value that has more frequency, or it is appearing more times, so it is difficult to identify the mode. Then involve complex grouping. You have to group the data so that you can get the mode. Okay, now we are checking the merits of mean. We said mean is where you sum up the values in a distribution and divide by the total number of items of in that distribution. So the first merit or the advantage, it is rigidly defined by algebraic formula, easy to calculate and understand, just summing up and dividing by the total, so you can easily calculate and even understand what you're doing. Then you present the entire data set. Since you sum up the whole data, then divide by the total number. Widely used in statistical analysis. This one is mostly used when we are doing analysis on in statistics. Now let's check on the demerits of mean. What are the disadvantages? Cannot be determined by inspection. You can't just check like mode. You can just check and see the number of which one appears most. But for mean, you need to do some calculation. Then cannot be computed for qualitative data. This one only for quantitative data. Okay. Then we have highly influenced by extreme values. When we're having very large numbers, it is affected. Then we have cannot be computed for class intervals with open ends. Cannot be computed with class interval with open ends. Now, in conclusion, we are going to finalize by saying understanding the strengths and the weaknesses of these measures allows for more informed analysis and interpretation of data. The moment you understand the weakness, the demerits and the merits, the strength and the weaknesses of these measures of central tendency, you get to make informed decision on which measure to use so that you can have good results in your analysis. Ultimately, the choice of which measure to use depends on the nature of the data. For example, we just said in mean, you can't do analysis on qualitative data. It's only used in quantitative. So ultimately, the choice will depend on the nature and the specific objective of the analysis. Thank you.